Hey, what's going on? How y'all doing out there today? This is your Uncle Steve here in Uncle Steve's Lounge. It's been a second. Got to catch you up on the latest news in the NFL. Falcons, could they be looking for a trade partner to get rid of Kyle Pitts, Kirk Cousins, in order to get some of the big fish out there? Can you say Myles Garrett? Also, Super Bowl talk, Kansas City, Philadelphia. What is going to happen next Sunday in New Orleans in the Super Bowl? We got some NBA talk. Luka for AD, who came out on top in that deal. And is Luka getting a bad rap in this thing? Speaking of rap, the Grammys yesterday. Woo, somebody is not like us. And I mean Mr. Kendrick. Big night for him last night. And also, want to talk about Babyface. Man, what is up with the disrespect, man? Look, I love me some new music and new times, but y'all better stop disrespecting my man like that. Come back. We're going to talk about everything. It's the Monday Minutia in Uncle Steve's Lounge.
You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Gonna sit down, have a good time. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Gonna sit down, have a good time. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Gonna sit down, have a good time. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Gonna sit down, have a good time. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Gonna sit down, have a good time. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Gonna sit down, have a good time.
What's going on? What's going on? How are y'all today? It is Monday, February 4th. February 3rd. I'm trying to make the days go on. This is Uncle Steve, and you're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Thank you for joining us, whether you're on Facebook, appreciate you, or whether you're online on YouTube at our YouTube station, Uncle Steve's Lounge. Thank you for joining us for the Monday Minutia, where we're getting into that type of time of year, I should say, where we're kind of wrapping up big time NFL football. Of course, the Super Bowl is coming here at the end of the week. So we're going to expand talk to a lot of things. I love talking other sports, love talking NBA. Every now and then I'll talk some baseball. Love talking entertainment and especially music. So we'll be on some of that stuff today. Setting the table here, the Atlanta Falcons, of course, 8-9 season, out of things for the season. Got a chance to see Bijan yesterday on the winning NFC team. See Chris Lindstrom helping them do their thing in the tug of war. So, do we like the Pro Bowl games or not? Do we like them? I guess. I mean, kind of half and half about it. It's kind of fun to see your favorite players in a different type of atmosphere where, they're having fun, they're interacting with the fans down there, they're having a good time. To see a different side of them. You didn't see the intensity. Sometimes you'll see the intensity of players all year and how they're rah and all of that. But just to see them in a different environment and see them generally having fun, getting along with other players, Uh, from that aspect, I like it. How long this can sustain itself, I don't know. I know we're in a different world, a digital world, a streaming world, obviously. And sometimes you have to do those kind of things to kind of appeal to, a younger set of eyes to bring more, eyes to your product. So I can understand where the NFL is going. The NBA is going to do it too. Their all-star game, they're going to a traditional kind of like a pickup game. That's the format with the 4 teams and all of that. So that should be something different. I don't have a problem with those. Anything you can do to try to tweak some things, I'm down with it. I understand. But do you like it? I don't know. We'll see. Of course, big news coming out of the NFL today. I should say NFL coming from Myles Garrett today. Well, Myles Garrett goes into this gigantic thing about him wanting to be traded. I'm going to try to pull this up for you. Again, as y'all coming into YouTube channel or Uncle Steve's Lounge, make sure y'all hit that like button for me, whether you're on Facebook or whether you're on YouTube. We appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, go ahead and subscribe. We appreciate it. Hopefully we can get some traction in the off season. I understand how it's that time where things get kind of quiet. So I can understand that. I wanted to pull this up. I'm going to let's see if I can share this screen here from Mr. Myles Garrett. Let's see. I am going to share Myles Garrett here. Here is his statement. He says, as a kid dreaming of the NFL, all I focused on was the ultimate goal of winning a Super Bowl. And the goal fuels me today more than ever. My love for the community in Northeast Ohio and the incredible fan base of the Cleveland Browns has made this one of the toughest decisions of my life. These past 8 years have shaped me into the man that I am today. While I loved calling this city my home, my desire to win and compete on the biggest stages won't allow me to be complacent. The goal was never to go from Cleveland to Canton. It has always been to compete and win a Super Bowl. Bold letters. With that in mind, I have requested to be traded from the Cleveland Browns. Signed, Myles Garrett. That's beautiful. It was eloquent. It's awesome. But it's not his call. The team has already stated they have no desire to trade him. Now, this is not me saying that they won't trade him. You don't want to keep unhappy people there. But as I was getting into it with one of my favorite podcasters in Atlanta, my brother Twisted, y'all check him out on Twisted Torch on YouTube, doing his thing as he always is, man. One of the best podcasters out there. I answered him he was putting out on Twitter, which I know a lot of people do, when somebody comes available. And he was saying how, hey, this would be a great move. Of course it would. I'm not arguing that. But if you go back and read this statement from Myles Garrett and looking at the second paragraph, he says, my dream is to compete on the biggest stages. I'm sorry. My desire to win and compete on the biggest stages won't allow me to be complacent. My goal was never to go from Cleveland to Canton. It's always been to compete and win a Super Bowl. So with that in mind, I want to focus on my desire to win and compete on the biggest stages. That doesn't scream Atlanta to me. That screams Kansas City. That screams Buffalo. That screams Philly. That screams Detroit. All teams at this moment considered to be bigger teams. It screams Baltimore. And if the trade went down today, would I be all aboard? with it, I would be foolish not to want to bring arguably the best defensive player in the league here to Atlanta. But I have to look at his own words. His words don't say, I want to leave Cleveland because I'm tired of Cleveland. His words say, I want to compete on the biggest stages. And the biggest stages right now, it's not Atlanta. And hear me good when I say this. I'm not telling people I wouldn't accept Myles Garrett. You'll be a fool not to take Myles Garrett on this team. My point is, why would you go to a team that hasn't won and went scratch, hasn't been to the playoffs since you got in the league? Falcons haven't been in the playoffs since. Myles Garrett at least has been to the playoffs twice since he's been with Cleveland. He hadn't tasted it yet. He tasted just a little bit. What would make him come to Atlanta? And I hear people probably saying, well, Steve, you got Michael Penix now. Now you got Bijan. Now you got Trey. I hear y'all. But the man said himself, I am not doctoring this up. He said, my desire is to win and compete on the biggest stages. This is not one of the biggest stages right now. As diehard of Atlanta Falcons fan that I am, and as hopeful as I am, he didn't say, I want to help a team get to the next level. He said, I want to compete on the biggest stages, y'all. So when it comes to that, I want to add that to the conversation list. We're going to be all over the place today with the conversation. I really want the conversation to go wherever we take it. But that's one of the reasons why when I hear that, it's not me being negative. It's me saying the man said he want. This isn't Jesse Bates saying I want a new start that with a team that's going to pay me money. This is somebody saying I want to play for a winner. So let's take that. The Super Bowl. Let's go to the next step. Super Bowl. Kansas City, Eagles. I am still right now on the track of until somebody beats 15 for Kansas City. As long as he's healthy and upright, I can't go against him. I can't. It's not a love fest with him. It's almost like the same thing when number 12 was in New England. It was. If he's upright and healthy, he's the favorite. Saquon Barkley can run for 200 yards 2 times. You gotta, Saquon and them almost lost to the Eagles. They can be beat. Saquon's gonna run all over them. He ran all over the Rams. And look what happened at the end of that game. Rams were inside the 20. So how do y'all like the Super Bowl? NBA news. Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis. We were all shocked. Saw the alert come in. I think it was Saturday night. Said, oh my goodness. What is going on in Dallas? Because right offhand, you say, dang, Dallas got fleeced. And then it's super funny to me. The narrative it took 24 hours. Luka Doncic is he's not in shape. He's not this, he's not dedicated. I love how we do that. The man has consecutively been on the first team, all NBA team, 5 straight years. Came off taking the team to a finals last year. Now all of a sudden, we worried about his dedication. He can play, man. And if he can play, I'm good. I don't know why people trust AD. Do y'all really trust AD to not get hurt? It's not a diss on AD. It's like a lot of times we see him. He takes his normal, I'm going to be off. I'm hurt. So I don't know. I like Luka. I like the Luka move. I really do. I think it's going to pay off for the Lakers. What y'all think about that? Luka and AD. And then last but not least, the Grammys last night. Woo! I know a lot of people don't like the Grammys. I know a lot of old school people are still kind of, we're kind of lukewarm on the Grammys because it's a lot of new stuff and everything like that. But from a music standpoint, I like to try to at least know what's going on currently. It kind of helps having teenage kids because they're usually they're usually kind of keeping up with what's going on. So what y'all think about the Grammys? Or do you think anything about the Grammys? Big winner, Kendrick Lamar. Won everything he was nominated for. Beyonce, big night, finally getting her album of the year. Thank goodness. Kanye didn't come up and interrupt. He had other distractions going on. But the biggest story to me last night at the Grammys, unfortunately, was this show of disrespect to me. And again, I get it. I know some people are kind of half and half on it. But the legendary Babyface last night was dissed kind of hard. And let me show this foolishness going on. So let me set the stage. So this is the red carpet. This is courtesy of TMZ. This was the red carpet yesterday. And I'm trying to turn this down. I'm sorry, y'all. So this was it was 2 reporters who were trying to interview him. And then all of a sudden, the lady who ended up winning Best New Artist came by. Now, I'll give, she is popular. Chappelle Roan, that Pink Pony Club was a popular song. I do remember hearing it a lot last year. So I'm not trying to deny the young lady her due that she's, pretty popular. But you're interviewing somebody who is one of the legends in the game. Now, I'm going to pull this up real quick, and then I'm going to get to the chat. I'm going to pull this up. Hold on. Let me get to the share. Sorry. There it is. Like I said, courtesy of TMZ. And let's take a listen to it. I hope y'all can hear it. Let me see if I can turn this volume up a little bit. Hopefully y'all can hear it. Let's hear these 2 knowledgeable people doing this interview. Uh-oh.
To you about just the rise of women in R&B and the way they were really at the forefront. Can you?
Did she know what she's talking about? I don't get me wrong. I'm not saying women at the forefront of R&B, but what are you talking about?
Talk about just this new trend that we're seeing in R&B, where we're seeing more of a fusion. We're seeing people blend the genre with pop, blend the genre.
What female R&B singers are blending the genre with pop? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's almost like you made up this whole thing. Like, what are you talking about? So anyway, I'm gonna keep going. Focus on this person right here, this lady right here, as I go.
With hip hop and rock as well.
Okay, now, if you look, she is focusing on this lady right here. That's Chappelle Roan. That was the best new artist at the Grammys last year. Well deserved. She's different. She's alternative. She's different. And like I said, Pink Pony Club was a popular song last year. Watch what she does. This one here. Not so much the interviewer. She's kind of lost anyway. Watch her. Uh-oh. Here we go.
Yes, I think it's interesting.
I know she was hiding because somebody was trying to get a camera shot of her or something like that. But listen to what she does next. Babyface is mid-talk. Watch this.
Chapel.
Chapel is the name of the little lady in the back.
You guys want to do that? Go do that.
So I'm going to go back on that again. Listen to Face. Face is like, hey, who cares? Listen to this again. Babyface gets it. He's like, okay, y'all see the clown behind us. Let's you can have it.
You guys want to do that? Go do that.
Hello, how's it going, Chapel?
Now, again, this courtesy of TMZ. I don't want to play the easy game on this one to say, I think it's a little probably more eraism than the picture of two young white girls that probably don't have any idea of how big time Babyface is and probably are trying to, get the hot person. And I get it. So I don't want to go that route. That's too easy. That's too lazy. But quite honestly, it's just very, I just thought that was disrespectful. And for anybody else who saw it, let me know what you think about it. I thought it was just extremely disrespectful. Later on, she did apologize. I give her credit. She did apologize. I give her a little credit because it was obvious you didn't know. Somebody came back and told her, no, baby, that was Babyface. That wasn't Soulja Boy. That was Babyface. Give that man his due. So I did like the fact that she did come back and apologize. So the four different things we'll talk about some Falcons. We'll talk about the Super Bowl. Luka AD trade that's up for grabs. And then also we could talk about the Grammys, Babyface disrespect. Let's just talk about everything, y'all. It's been a while since we talked. This is Uncle Steve. As y'all coming in, make sure y'all hit the like button for me. Let's get into the chat, see what we got. We got our brother Bert strapped up in the house. What's going on, Strap? He said, what's good? Let's get Miles to the A. I will sell my house, car, and everything else to bring him here. Yeah, hey, listen. If you can pull it off, it would be great. I'm just looking at what the man said. And the man said he wants to compete for Super Bowls. Now, if he feels like, and again, the trade is not even in his. I mean, I know the ownership is not going to be foolish enough to have a malcontent. It would be foolish for you to sit Myles Garrett on the side. But if you are, you're going to get what you want out of the deal. Now, we do have a used quarterback here that you can always, get. Hold on one second. That he can always get, and Kirk Cousins, and the money doesn't match up all the way, but you do need a quarterback next year, unless you're going to sign up Jameis for cheap, which I could understand if you do that too. But I wouldn't be against Miles. ATL Skate Man in the house. What's going on, man? What's going on? How you doing out there? Thanks for joining us here in Uncle Steve's Lounge. It's Monday by boy DJ is in the house. DJ. Demetrius Jeffrey here. What's going on, brother? Hope everything is going well for you. Again, glad to see y'all here in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Boss Trucker in the house. What's up, boss? He said, "Count us out about the Miles Garrett sweepstakes." I mean, I don't want to count us out, but at the same time, I do look realistically and just say, yeah, I don't know, y'all. I'm all for hunting for the big fish, but it's gonna cost you, y'all. It's gonna definitely cost you, most definitely. DJ says if we got Miles Garrett, that would be a game changer, no doubt, absolute game changer. Boss Trucker says 35 million. Yeah, it's gonna cost. It's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you. Said if he wants to go to a team that will win, I would go to the Chiefs or Eagles, and I think that's probably where he's talking about, going to a team, a big time team. That's where I would see his where his energies would take him. Got the first super chat of the day coming in. What is going on to our brother Greg? As soon as I can get the thing on here. What's going on, Greg? How you feeling today, brother? Good to see y'all. Make sure y'all check Greg out on Custom Kicks. Let me put the vent condition on him. Let's see. Uncle Steve Lounge. Uncle Steve's Lounge. You know. Thank you, brother. Thank you, my brother Greg. We appreciate you, brother. Greg's Custom Kicks. Y'all make sure y'all check him out. Go into the 2025 season with new custom kicks from Greg. He's on Instagram. He's on YouTube. Y'all can check him out and get your shoes now. Start now. He said, that Luka trade gonna rub off exactly like that Saquon trade. Although an unexpected trade, a change of scenery is best. My question is how New York and Dallas GMs are still employed with such. Hey, man. Well, the New York Giants are really looking bad because the little kid was trying to tell them about that a couple of years ago. And then the Dallas guy, yeah, it's no way you're going to sell me on this. The only way he gets out of this, Dallas has to not only make the finals, but probably win. I'm sorry. I understand what people saying. Maybe in Dallas, he might have been a problem and all of that stuff. You know what? He's arguably one of the top 5 players in the league. And if you're first team NBA for 5 straight years, folks, that's not that. I hear people want him to be LeBron. They want him to be in the gym. They want him to work out. They want him to the same stuff that they criticize Embiid for, the same stuff they criticize Jokic for, and stuff like that. Sometimes, folks, talent does override. I'm not saying I don't understand the concern, but it is what it is. Dallas doesn't want to pay him Supermax. Somebody will. He's not eligible now, but somebody will. I in this case, I almost hope the Lakers come out and really dominate. I really do. Because I think they kind of I don't like it from Dallas's standpoint. Man, this has the looks. This has the looks, like he says, of Saquon. It really does. We'll see. Time will tell. And another one that I still don't believe, that LeBron had no idea. You mean to tell me the most important player in the NBA, I didn't say the best, he probably is close to that, but the most important player in the NBA had no clue? Okay. I'm wondering with Rob Pelinka, did LeBron tell him something like, yeah, man, I might be gone anyway next year? And he said, okay, if you're going to be gone, I need to set the future up. And I don't need to ask your permission. That's a possibility. I just don't see how he doesn't know, though. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate that super chat, my friend. Kelvin says, he said, I'll ask Cleveland. What you want? Let's do this. I got it. He says, the picks here, y'all. Oh, man, that one Falcon fan in the house. What's going on, man? He said Myles Garrett should come to Atlanta. Unlikely we get him, but it isn't the first time we attempted a blockbuster trade with Cleveland. And, yep, Julio Jones. Take the risk and F them picks. Yeah, again, it's not even a matter of just F them picks, y'all. You know you got to match their salary up. That's why I was almost suggesting, I mean, it's not like Cleveland needs another tight end. But maybe from Kirk's standpoint, they don't have to worry about the rest of his contract. That's not guaranteed, but they'd only have to worry about next year. See if you can talk them into kind of massaging that. The same salary we would be taking on with Miles would be the same salary they would be taking on with Kirk Cousins. That's the only reason it would probably make sense. Because I think Kirk's after this year is not guaranteed. So from Cleveland's standpoint, we'd be giving them a one and done until they get their quarterback situation straight. And then from our standpoint, these last 2 years of Miles isn't guaranteed. But they would be able to maybe restructure and do some stuff with him. Miles is 29. I'm sure he has at least 3-4 more good years in him. And restructure that contract, do some stuff down the line. Again, a lot of hypotheticals, but, you know. DJ says the Luka trade got to be one of the craziest, if not the craziest trades I have ever seen. I agree with you. So I think the Lakers were looking at it long-term wise, and Luka gives them a great chance at winning as long as they build around him. That's got to be the plan. I do. That makes too much sense. That one Falcons fan says trade scenario: Atlanta gets Myles Garrett in the 2025 fourth. Cleveland gets Kirk Cousins, Kyle Pitts, 2025 first and second. I wouldn't object to this scenario, aside of the point that you're going to be taking up a one and done Kyle Pitts too. You're going to have a 2 tight end system with the tight end that they have now, and I don't know. I don't know. It would be interesting. First and second round picks. If you're giving up Kyle and Kirk, I'd give them 1. And maybe we got a 5th or 6th, maybe. That one says regarding Kendrick, the moment he dissed Drake, we all knew it was Joe over. Listen, Drake is not having a good last half of the year and beginning of 2025. That's for sure. I did see something. He's supposed to be coming out with an album here on Valentine's weekend. So good luck with that to see how that works out. So we'll see. Demetrius says, not to get off topic, Uncle Steve, but what did you think about Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble? Also, there is a Kurt Angle meet and greet this Saturday in Stone Mountain. I'm going to definitely go to it. I love the fact that they which I think even with the pop that Jey Uso has been getting over the last year, I was kind of surprised it wasn't one of the, big guys getting their love as far as that's concerned. I knew when I saw John Cena in there with him at the end that I was like, oh, Lord, we getting ready to set up the John Cena 17th championship thing. But good for the WWE that Jey Uso gets his opportunity, because if you listen to those crowds, man, that's uncanny to get that type of popularity that they had with the wrestler. And right now, Jey Uso is hot. So you ride the hot wave. I think it's kind of obvious that you're probably gonna have to go Gunther on this, because I think I just see way too much that they can do with Dustin, because Dustin, Cody Rhodes. Well, I'm trying to make gold dust in here. Cody Rhodes, I think, is too valuable, and you're gonna have to go either CM Punk, Roman Reigns, somewhere in that vicinity. I'm calling it right now. I think you're gonna have Cody, Roman, CM Punk. There is going to be that favor that Paul Heyman keeps talking about, rearing his head, and you're going to see CM Punk walk out with that championship on WrestleMania. They know we got it's a long way to go. Hopefully people don't get injured, but I think that's what's going to happen. Raymond Collins in the house. What's going on, Raymond? Good to see you, man. What's been happening? Everything's been going good, man. Been having a good week or two. Took a week off last week, my birthday week last week. So just kind of chilling and recalibrating and stuff. Again, we coming into this off season, so just trying to recharge the batteries and do some things like that. Georgia, Texas boy in the house. What's going on? So what's up, Uncle Steve, Falcon family? The new era is here. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Lisa Shepherd in the house. What's going on, Lisa? Good to see you. Welcome into Uncle Steve's Lounge. Again, as y'all coming into Uncle Steve's Lounge, where you'll watch it on YouTube, on Facebook, make sure that you hit the like button for a brother so we can get this thing out into the world. People can see what we got here on Uncle Steve's Lounge. He said, yo, Uncle Steve, what are your thoughts that Mike Green only played Edge for 2 seasons? I like Mike Green. And what I don't, it is one of those things where I know a lot of people, he had his little viral moment at the East-West Shrine game. I'm not denying that. That's some good stuff. But I just want to be sure before we start crowning him the next guy, because he rolled over one guy who might not have been ready at that time. So, let's see how it works out first. Greg back in the house with another super chat. Appreciate you, Greg. Thank you. Hey.
Oh, you know in my mind when you talk to Uncle Steve.
That's my best. That's the best I could do with the bars. I can't hit them high notes anymore. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate you, brother. He said, Unc, I didn't know you were a wrestling fan. So am I. It was my late grandmother, and my thing. It still is. Jacob Fatu is an absolute B-man. Jacob Fatu, and I'm so glad that they're finally letting him speak and get on the mic, because there was a time that he just kind of played the guy. He was kind of like Solo. Remember how they did Solo when he first came in, helping out things, and he just stood there, and they did the same thing with Jacob. But they were saying all along that Jacob was going to be the guy. He was going to be the next guy. So it's not surprising me that he's doing the things he's doing. Absolutely, man. Big Jacob Fatu guy. I look at his time probably being 2026. More than that, they got way too many. I think what happens when you become the big dog, as WWE is, and now you got a lot of superstars coming in, even John Cena coming back, AJ Styles just came back from injury, CM Punk returned last year. So it's starting to get to be a crowded field in WWE. But I like when they focus on the new guys. And I say new guys, but the guys who haven't got the run, the Jacob Fatus, the Jey Usos, it was nice to see the LA Knight run. I just don't see them doing another Daniel Bryan thing where you got the kind of smaller wrestler coming in and kind of taking over. But he's good for pops and things like that. But I like the fact that they're finally starting to give some of these guys their due instead of the same old characters all the time. Thank you, brother, and I appreciate the super chat again, man. Appreciate that. DJ said that's disrespectful while interviewing someone and they sound and look so unseasoned. Well, here's the defense to the two young ladies who were doing the interview, and again, they apologize. Today's quote unquote interviewer and stuff like that, it's not like the old school. It's not Oprah. It's not talk show hosts. Even the talk show hosts, the interview style is much different. Not to say you have to be this clean cut, enunciating every syllable, blah 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 blah. But it's obvious that the two young ladies that they had in the interview thing, they weren't real interviewers. They were fans. They were fans who were fanning out. Especially the second girl, Chapel, just like almost when she got there, when Babyface was there, you was like this straight lace, whatever. And then when Chapel gets like, it's like, oh, we can kind of be fans now. And one of those type things. It's a new generation, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. Antara, what's going on, man? How you doing? Good to see you. Appreciate you joining us here on Steve Lounge. He said, yes, she thought he wasn't grown and sexy. Babyface, I'm gonna tell you what's up. I saw Babyface last year, and I'm gonna tell you what, man. Face still got it. He can still sing a little bit, and he's still. No, I check him out at State Farm. And I do it in a heartbeat. But you know what it is, Brother Moody, it's a different age that will go crazy for Babyface. They don't remember Whip Appeal. They don't remember he wrote End of the Road. They don't remember two occasions from the deal. They don't remember all the stuff he co-wrote for After 7 and all of that. They don't remember all that. All they know is Chapel Roan and Peak Pony Club. And going crazy for that. And I was looking, it was funny because my son was talking about it. I asked my son, we said, so you know who Babyface is, right? He said, yeah, Dad. He said, that was those, that music you used to play in the car all the time. He says, so I know who it is. I was like, okay, cool. But I looked up Babyface's net worth just on whim, $200 million. Didn't shock me. His catalog is long and strong, and I'm sure he owns publishing that only people can dream about. Those two young ladies thought they were talking to some scrub. So that's why I kind of had a problem with it. David, oh, shoot, I skipped over here. David, this is your first one. What's going on, man? Good to see you, brother. He said, what's up, Steve? No money or cap space for Garrett. It's a nice dream, though. He said they've had a problem with Luka's conditioning forever. If J Kidd can't get it in his ear about it, I doubt Bron will either. Lakers may have 5 years of prime Luka before injuries hit hard. Here's my thing about that. And I'm not trying to diminish the fact that, yeah, Luka does come in looking like, maybe he's not built like LeBron. Maybe he's not, muscles bulging every way. You know what Luka is? Luka is still one of the top 5 players in the NBA. So as much as we want to talk about rubbing off and J Kidd not getting to him and whatever, we're also at an age where these young basketball players don't care about coaches and GMs and stuff. They're like, pay me the money, I'll go out there and play. And yeah, he might get hurt a couple of times, but is it really just all conditioning? Is it? Can you be first team all NBA 5 straight years and it's all conditioning? I don't know. I don't think so. It wasn't conditioning when he was killing them in the playoffs last year until the finals. I kind of tend to I get it, but I'm not ready to, I'm not trying to completely dog him out. Now I know y'all like, yeah, Uncle Steve, you ain't in the greatest condition either. That's probably why you take it up for him. Maybe. Maybe. But at the same time, I just don't think that's the end all be all if the brother ain't got 2%, only got 2% body fat. I think there are bigger things that you could worry about. Brother Moody says, so glad we don't have conditioning issues with Trey. Yeah. Yeah, we got other issues with this Hawks team, man. 8 in a row. Hopefully they could do some things in Detroit. We'll see. Jawan Johnson in the house. What's going on, Jawan? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us here in Uncle Steve's Lounge. He said, let's get Michael Parsons. Same thing. Michael Parsons. If Michael Parsons wants to come, cool. A lot of changes going on in Dallas. Let's see what happens. We'll see. Ron Smith in the house. What's going on, Ron? How you doing, brother? Hope everything is going on well for you and the family. Oh, man. Old school. I ain't seen Juan in a while. What's going on, Juan? Good to see you, brother. Yeah, I'm trying to hit that. He said, what's good, happy off season. Glad to see you still grinding, brother. I'm still doing it, man. I'm still trying. I'm still trying to do my thing. And Antonio James got a lot of good to see all y'all. Thank y'all for joining us here on Uncle Steve's Lounge. He said, what's up, Uncle Steve? So the Hawks won that draft day trade. Yes, it looks like it now. In fact, Trey and Jaren Jackson are the only two of the lottery picks with the teams they started with. Is that crazy? You know, my son and I were talking about the draft, and it's really weird because when you think about the NBA, and the NBA was talking about they're getting ready to go to 2-day drafts now, which is ridiculous to me. You might only get, and especially if you're not patient, you may only get six real players in the draft for the NBA. That's it. Everybody else might take time to develop. Not saying they won't develop into it, but that's it. You're drafting these folks mostly at 19, 20, 21, and a lot of them don't build into their body until they're 23 or 24. Everybody's all on Cooper flag for next year, as they should. His brother got skills, but at the same time, he's not going to peak until he's 22, 23, 24. So we'll see. Raymond said another January King. Absolutely. The month Kings aboard. Absolutely, brother. I agree with you 100% on that one. John Brooks in the house. He said, Uncle Steve, do you think we get Penta versus Braun at Mania? Because Penta, this stare down in the IC championship that Braun Breaker had on his shoulder. You probably are, but I don't see them moving away from Braun Breaker. They took it off for him for a quick second, and then they put it right back on him real quick. I'm looking at Braun, no matter how much momentum Penta has got. I think you're looking at LeBron. I'm saying LeBron. You're looking at Braun Breaker probably carrying that IC title for quite a while. I think he's a good ambassador for that. And he's probably that next guy when you start talking about Jacob Fatu, Braun Breaker, those guys, Jey Uso, those are the next guys that are going to carry the flag going forward. So I think that's what you look at. I don't think Braun is going. You're not going to see that strap off Braun until at least 26 because they got to build him up some more. Dirty Bird 67 in the house. What's going on, brother? How you doing? He said Jay will be the ring general at WrestleMania, and R will be CM Punk and Cody with Sherman in his corner. I think again, CM Punk and Cody is going to be that. It's an intriguing story. But don't forget the little promise from CM Punk to Paul Heyman. There's got to be a screw you moment that Paul is going to give to Roman Reigns when it comes to CM Punk. And I think the only time that can happen, they only usually have about one or two critical pay-per-views between now and WrestleMania. I know they got the Elimination Chamber coming up. But there's gonna be something, and it's gotta happen on a big stage. So I'd still look at it as a three-way dance with Punk, Roman, and Cody, and then somehow, some way, Roman's gonna look to pin him or do something, and Paul is gonna pay him back his favor and screw Roman, and then that'll be a story going into SummerSlam or something like that. Keep it going on like that. The Beast said, happy birthday, Frank. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. He also said, Fatu is a monster. Fatu is a bad boy, man. He really is. He said, Jacob Fatu is different. Yeah. Island Mike in the house. What's going on, man? How you doing, brother? He said, we have to get Garrett in here. Do whatever it takes. I'm all down for bringing Garrett in. The only pause I have, folks, and I want to make sure I'm gonna pull this back up. Let me go back to the statement. Let me go back to it. When I see this statement, it just worries me. For those of you who weren't here when I read it earlier, let me take the banner off here for Babyface there. This line right here, my desire to win and compete on the biggest stages won't allow me to be complacent. The reason why that bothers me when you start talking about the Atlanta Falcons is that sounds like a statement from somebody who wants to go to the biggest stage now. I'm not telling you that the new look Atlanta Falcons with Michael Penix Jr. won't be in the mix next year. But that statement about desire to win and compete on the biggest stages, he's leaving a team, remember, 1 year removed from making the playoffs. He's leaving a team that has been to the playoffs twice in the same 7-year span that the Falcons haven't been in the playoffs. So if he's willing to leave from that now, getting paid like he's getting paid now, then he specifically sounds like he wants to go to a winner. And when I say winner, I'm talking about somebody, a perennial winner, a Kansas City, a Buffalo, a Baltimore, a Philadelphia, possibly a Detroit, to a team that's right now at least competing every year. That's what it sounds like to me. Now, if he turns around and says, you know what, I'm here to help the Atlanta Falcons get to the next level, with hallelujah and bring them on. But I'm just going by his own words right here. And nothing in this statement from him says, I want to help a team get to the next level. That sounds like I'm ready to win now. I'm one of the marquee players in the league, and I need to win right now. Greg, get another super chat. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate it, man.
Super chat with. Super chat with.
No, Jay-Z was happy yesterday.
Super chat with.
Speaking of change clothes.
Super chat with.
Congratulations. Congratulations to Beyonce, album of the year, first time. No interference from Kanye. He said, family of myself went to SmackDown Atlanta. I said, okay, cool. I'll check it out, brother. I will check it out. I appreciate it. Yeah, man, they had the first time it's been here in a minute. So good for them coming in here into Atlanta. I would love to see them bring a WrestleMania to the Benz, but We'll see. We'll see. Kelvin says, hell, Jokic ain't the perfect physical specimen, but top in the league. See, that's where I am. I'm like, look, there aren't muscles bulging over Jokic either. And I'll take him on my team anytime. So I get where people are saying the physical aspect. I'm not saying it's not an important aspect of your game. Excuse me. That's that drink. Sorry. That was a big burp. But I also say I see brothers out there with bulging muscles who I wouldn't take on my team in a heartbeat. It's not the end all be all. Lisa says, do you think the Hawks made a mistake by getting and not keeping Doncic? Lisa, I hear that question. And of course, after yesterday, you say, well, Trey looks better now because at least Dallas got rid of him. It was a lot of talk about getting rid of Trey before the Hawks went on their little run early in the year. We've been hearing it all summer. But to answer your question, I still would have loved to see Doncic get a shot here in Atlanta, but I also got it too. Would Atlanta embrace Doncic as an international, pretty much unknown at the time? If y'all remember, all you saw was European highlights from Doncic at the time of the draft. We got a chance to see Trey at Oklahoma hitting all the threes. And of course, this is at the same time that Curry is splashing threes all over the place. I think Atlanta said, oh, well, let's stick with the countryman and see if he can generate some, love here in Atlanta. I get it. I'm not mad at the Hawks for doing what they did. Not bad at all. But right now, I would have loved to see them try. But that's hindsight. 82 Monte Carlo. I don't know why. All twisted up and worse twisted more than Key Sweat. He said, do you think they trade Pitts and Kirk for Miles? I saw an earlier comment with the same thing. It would be okay. I'm still trying to figure out. I don't think Pitts, they got the tight end already in Cleveland. I'm not sure if they would double up on the tight ends, but I wouldn't be against it as long as the money line up. I wouldn't mind. I just don't see Myles Garrett coming here on his own. Now, if Cleveland says that works for us and we'll do that deal, I see it. But Myles Garrett sounds like he wants to go to a perennial winner, and I just don't see him making that move to Atlanta. I'm at a point right now, folks. Y'all saw some young, talented guys in both games this week, the East-West Shrine game and the Senior Bowl. You saw some young, hungry guys. Let's bring them in here. Let's train them. Let's train them up right. And let's get some of that young energy. Make our own stars. Henry in the house. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Say hello, Uncle Steve and Falcons family. I hope all is well. Have a great and safe week. You too, my brother. He said, my day was 1-1. Team James. Well, all right, Juan. Happy birthday, man. New Year's, baby. I got you. Got a couple of friends. Got some New Year's birthdays. That's all good. 95 North Falcons talk. What is going on to my brother Berto in the house? What is going on, man? Y'all make sure y'all check him out on the 95 North Falcons talk. Also on Smitty's Sports Machine doing their thing on their channel. Said Unc was getting ready to put your mug on a carton again. Look, man, hey, every now and then, y'all got to remember, man. Sometimes this life be lifing, and you got to do what you got to do. During football season, I'm probably just a little bit more active, just make time into doing it. Now, since the off season, I know we're getting ready to, and I know you guys are getting ready to do your draft shows and things like that. So I'll get back into things, but just been trying to take some downtime and relax and do my thing, and then I'll pop up every now and then just to let y'all know I'm around. So good. Glad you didn't have to put me on the milk carton. So I am back. Oh man. Here it says Myles Garrett wants to be traded. I think Arthur Terry should make the call. Do you think the Falcons should pull the trigger? Should they pull the trigger? Of course, if for the right price. Will they pull the trigger? I don't know. I think, listen, every team, when he came out with that, I'm pretty sure every team is going to make a run at it. Of course they are. But it's just a matter of what Cleveland is the team in the hot seat right now. Cleveland is the team that, it's up to them. It's not up pretty much to Myles Garrett. He could put out all the statements he wants to. It's up to Cleveland to whether they want to make the move. Even if they say, Cleveland could say, we'll rather you be a malcontent on the sidelines as opposed to helping another team. Because remember, if he doesn't play, he doesn't get paid. And Cleveland would probably say, I'd rather do that unless I'm going to get a huge, huge haul. And Falcons right now can't even afford a huge haul. We're lacking a lot of picks. Henry says, happy birthday. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. Strap says, I think he is coming here, bro. All the sites and even CBS is saying he's in talks with our GM. Listen, again, nobody's saying I wouldn't take him. I'm just looking at what he said. I'm pretty sure if the GM goes up to him and says, hey, bruh, we about to send you to Atlanta, I'm pretty sure he might be like Hassan Reddick. Oh, y'all can send me to Atlanta all you want to. I won't play. I said I want to go to Kansas City. I want to go to Buffalo. I want to go to here. I just don't want a situation where you're going to trade somebody that doesn't want to be here. Dimitri says, I went to Monday Night Raw last week. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so you out there with Greg. Good job. Juan says, maybe Luka just filling out his body. Luka turned it into the Joker. Who knows, man? You remember, again, 25 years old. You never know. Maybe he is turning into that guy. But I'll take my chances. Demetri says, man, if when WWE brings WrestleMania back to the A, that's going to be a real special. I would hope they will. It would be cool if they did. Atlanta Falcons pandemic in the house. What is going on, my friend? Good to see y'all. Make sure y'all check out Atlanta Falcons pandemic. He does his thing on YouTube as well. Hopefully, everything's going well with you. He said, Uncle Steve, what's really going on? People act like things are going to change for the Lakers. Bron has had and played with more. This is true. And maybe Rob Pelinka, this is his first opportunity to say, you know what, y'all, this is my team. I'm going to do it my way. Let's see how this all plays out. And LeBron, and I'm thinking, Rob Pelinka, would he make this deal 3 years ago without saying anything to LeBron? Maybe LeBron told him, hey, man, I'm getting ready to leave next year. And Rob said, you know what? LeBron, if you leaving next year, and please take Bronny with you, if you leaving next year, I got to look out for the house. My job doesn't end just because you retire. So he's got to look out for the future. And if his future says, you know what? Let me go get a young superstar, trade for Anthony Davis. Now, here's the funny thing. I think Dallas has a nice team. Did that move make Dallas better? I don't think it did. I think it made them defensively better. I'm not sure it made them overall better. But we'll see. Kelvin says, would just tell Miles we ain't that far away. Look at the Commanders. Listen, again, I don't want it twisted. And speaking of twisted, that's where it started from. I was talking to my brother Twisted. I'm going to try to pull our conversation up. I love me some Twisted Torch. Hold on one second. Let me get his thing up here. Shoot. Here it is. And I totally agree with him from a certain aspect. Here we go. I'm gonna share this. Hold on one second. Y'all gonna say, dang, Steve, you really got this. So I was talking to my brother here. Share the screen. And so what his post said, I know y'all can't see it. He says, Myles Garrett requested a trade from the Browns. Falcons make this play, send Kurt and future picks to the Browns. Pass rush will change drastically with Myles on the defense. All that sounds good. It really good. And my next comment was, let me see if I can make this bigger. Let me see if I can make that bigger. Okay. Let me go back to his. There we go. I'll make sure y'all check out my brother Twisted Torch TV on YouTube. That's my guy. And I appreciate and I love having conversations even though you disagree or have a different opinion that we can do that. But y'all make sure y'all give him some love, man. He said, Myles Garrett requested a trade from the Browns. Falcons bake this play. Send Kirk and future picks to the Browns. Pass rush will drastically change with Myles on defense. Now, my comment was, that sounds great in theory, but to compete on the biggest stages comment, going back to what I told you he said, is concerning. He's been to the playoffs more in the past few years with Cleveland than us. So he be going out on faith, which doesn't sound like his messaging. But again, I would be all for it. So I would. So here's a reply. After that, I think at this point, it almost sounded like he might have thought I was being negative about it. He said, the NFC is wide open, though, champ. The NFC South is wide open. The Falcons are a Super Bowl team with a legitimate pass rusher. Again, read between the lines. That's not what I'm telling. I told everybody and their mama before the season was out that the NFC is wide open. And even with Philadelphia winning, I still think it's wide open next year. I really do. I told them that. Said not arguing that point. I've been saying that since last season. I'm saying his messages sound like right now on a contender more than I hope I can make a difference on a team that hasn't won in 8 years. But I said, keeping the optimism, I hope I'm wrong. So none of that is trying to diminish. And again, y'all make sure y'all check Twisted out, man. Good stuff. Always good content, man. Always good content from him. But I'm not poo-pooing the idea. I'm just saying Myles Garrett doesn't seem like a player that wants to go to a team that's trying to get to the next step. He sounds like somebody that wants to be included in the mix on a team that's already there. If you disagree, let me know. Demetri says, since we're talking about basketball, big shout out to the Atlanta Dream for making moves, getting Brittany Griner in free agent. Can't wait to go to some of their games in May. Not only that, DJ, getting Brianna Jones too from the Connecticut Sun. That's a move. The Atlanta Dream are making good moves. Now I will say this, everybody in the WNBA right now, this is a critical year because next year, the money generated from, the new attention, the Caitlyn effect, I like to call it, comes into effect next year. So you're going to see a lot of folks doing 1-year deals this year because the money opens up for the players next year. And great thing for the WNBA that they are able to take advantage of. But to your point, Brittany Griner, you can't teach height. And she still, even last year, still looked like she was ready. And I remember she was, coming off of all the drama from, being held and stuff like that. But now that she can she take her time and maybe she can work her way back to maybe 3-4 years ago. And really, we don't need that. We just need her to stand in the middle and just get all that other stuff out the way. But Brianna Jones, that's a nice move as well. She was a very integral point of that Connecticut Sun team that almost made it to the WNBA finals. So you got Jordana at the point. You got Alicia Gray. You have Ryan Howard. You have Brittany Griner. That's a nice group to go into the season with. That's a nice group. I like it. Dexter Owens says Cousins pits second this year, second next year. We get Garrett and a fourth. Trading them will open up $38 million in salary cap, Garrett's new deal, and pick up Chase and a draft. Pick up Chase and a draft the end in the round. And I'm assuming you mean Chase Young, who's a free agent this year too. I don't disagree with anything you just said. Now, yeah, it will open up $38 million, but you're still gonna have a hefty dead cap from trading Kurt too, because you still got to account for those. You got to account for that dead money for the last 2 years of that contract. It will open up temporarily, but what you can do with Garrett, because Garrett has 2 years on his deal, if you brought him here, you could re-sign him or redo his contract where it could push some of that money down the line. So, yeah, you'll save some, but don't forget, if you trade Kurt, you're only going to be responsible for a little amount of his base salary, but you still got to worry about that dead cap from the last 2 years of the contract. Remember, it's $100 million guaranteed, but some of that dead cap money is going to have to be accounted for. And when you trade them, that has to come out now. You can't play with that money. You could play with bonus money if they're on your roster, but that dead cap has to come out next year. So, yes, $38 million open, but some of that will be sucked up by the dead cap money. Henry says Chase Young might leave New Orleans. I could definitely see him. Braylon Trice, Caden Ellis bringing the house to other teams. Yeah, Chase Young is a free agent. So, and then, yeah, I'll see the little news with New Orleans. New Orleans got some other issues going on internally. Not to say that they would be anything that would detract from the stuff on the field, but maybe not a good time to be in that organization doing some stuff. So it'll be very interesting to see how that works out. DJ says, can't wait for Trice to be healthy next season. I was telling everybody coming into the year, and I'm dead serious. I really do think Braylon Trice, judging by the motor that I saw at University of Washington, I really do feel like he's somebody that could really add something to the team coming off next year. Not to say it was a good thing he got injured, but at least he got injured early. I can see him coming full strength into the season, hopefully able to watch a lot of what was going on the field, hopefully able to, just kind of be able to observe and learn going into next year. I hope that all pays off. You're right about Caden Ellis. If I were the Falcons, I would probably think about doing something with Caden Ellis for a year or so, just to kind of see. I think you're going to get that from him anyway. I really do. I think Caden Ellis showed last year and he showed this year that he's that dude. So I would love to see them do something with his deal. I'm going to look real quick before we go any further. I want to see Caden Ellis's contract situation with him. Hold on one second. There we go. NFL. Where is that? Where is that? While I'm looking for that, Dexter says that's what I'm saying about giving Garrett a new deal. Okay, get Chase or Riddick because he's going to be cheap now. He didn't register a sack after a holdout and draft an edge in first if someone there like that. Yeah, okay, I see. I would, it's kind of interesting with Riddick. I almost wonder, did he hurt himself more? I think he did. So I don't know if I'm ready to get Riddick. I think Riddick could possibly be a Matthew Judon where be careful what you wish for. As far as that's concerned, I would beware of Riddick, no doubt. Henry says Rams are looking to trade Cup. Yeah, Cup got a big number on that contract, though. I think you can do some things with what we got on this team. I really do. Let me go share this screen right quick. What we got, Atlanta Falcons. The money right now, see that Kirk Cousins, that's a big cap number. So even if you traded him and saved some of the salary, you still got a big cap number to deal with. Now, the cap is going to probably go up $20 million again. So everybody who's thinking, we're doomed, it's not necessarily. The Falcons will be able to do something this year. Will they be able to go big fish hunting? Maybe not. But, you should be able to fill some important slots on the team. I was looking at Caden Ellis' situation. Caden is only getting $8.5 million this year. And if you pull that down, and that's part of his signing and part of his, I think you don't let him get out of here. I wouldn't mind throwing 2 years on, maybe get some of that guaranteed money pushed down into 27. Caden Ellis is somebody that you want out of here. I don't see them opting out of Caden Ellis. I love what he brought to Atlanta. Like the leadership, like the attitude. I love what he brings. I think you keep him around and maybe look at possibly doing something with that contract that'll be beneficial to us on that. Again, folks, I do think it's gonna be a very active offseason for the Falcons. I would not mind trying to go after somebody like a Myles Garrett, ask Khalil back how much he's asking for at age 33 or 34. None of that would bother me. I just want to make sure everyone knows that, every person that says they're available, be buyer beware on some of those numbers. You got to beware of that. Listen, everybody, it's been an awesome Monday. Thank y'all for joining me here in the Monday Minutia here on Uncle Steve's Lounge. we will try to do a show pre Super Bowl. We usually do it every year where we get out there and talk like at about 1 or 2 o'clock before the Super Bowl comes on, have some fun just like we did today, talking some entertainment, talking about what you think about the Super Bowl. And actually, I have 2 cousins that are diehard on each side. They got with me last time. I'm hoping I can get with them again and talk about what's going to happen in the Super Bowl. Pay attention to Sunday. I'll probably try to come on early that day and we'll go over what's going to happen in the Super Bowl. Until then, make sure y'all hit the like button for me as you're on the way out, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook. We appreciate you joining us. Appreciate the conversation in the chat. Continue to talk if you're looking at this video after it's already aired, feel free to go into the comment section. I usually pay attention to the comments even after the chat is over with. But I appreciate y'all. Thank you for joining us. Join us into the off season. We will do our collab draft this year again with our brother Tidy Jones from Atlanta Bird Gang. We've been doing it for the last, I want to say 3 or 5, no, it might be 4 years, 4 or 5 years that we've been doing this. So y'all make sure, be ready for that. Until then, everyone have a great week. We'll see you hopefully on Super Bowl Sunday. Talk to you then. This is your Uncle Steve. Appreciate y'all.
You're in Uncle Steve's lounge. You're in Uncle Steve's